my eviction trial is scheduled for April. I don't think I can win. I think I'm gonna have to move out instead. I mean, it's just, I mean, the judge was so horrible to me at the pretrial conference. You know, I can't. I mean, if he basically didn't let me say anything. He attacked everything I said. He was unbelievably. He was just absolutely horrible to me. He lied, you know, and said that he wasn't able to schedule a meeting that I know I have a legal right to, with the property manager, and the lawyer for the property manager. He just lied in court, said, you know, I don't have the power to schedule that meeting for you, to order them to do it. He was horrible. He was rude, he was sarcastic, he didn't care about anything I said. I mean, he probably knew who I was before he walked into the building, you know, walked into the room, you know, or had read about me on the internet, or had heard about me from other people, I suppose, maybe from the last time when I got evicted, when there were also cameras in my apartment. You know, and it's all a bunch of lies. All lies. You know, there are cameras in this apartment, there are cameras in my last apartment. You know, and I got evicted last time, and I'm going to get evicted this time. And it's snowing outside, and apparently it's going to get a lot colder, and I'm just going to have to move out. There's nothing I can do. I cannot win. I don't have a lawyer representing me. The police, you know, did exactly what I thought they were going to do when I asked them to investigate, which was to walk around the apartment, not really search for anything, and then stand there and condescend to me for like half an hour, you know, basically being like, well, you know, maybe we can help you move out without losing your voucher. And even so, you know, I talked to one of them on the phone a couple weeks later, and he actually said to me, he said, and I quote, he said, "We believe you, but we can't find the evidence." And that's it. Have never heard from him again, right? So even though the police probably know who I am, and I know that they have, because so many of them have stalked me over the years, you know, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to search the apartment again. He not only did the police officer tell me that the police station doesn't have any kind of electronic scanner for detecting hidden cameras, he said, I don't think they even make them. That's what he said. He said, I don't think they even make an electronic scanner. And I know that's not true, because they do have stuff like that advertised on the internet. I mean, my feeling is, I don't know, you know, I feel like I don't know if I would be able to buy something off the internet that would actually detect the cameras in my apartment. And the police station certainly ought to have something like that, and they ought to be dealing with this type of issue. You know, they're not dealing with the issue for a number of reasons. One is that it's a technological issue that they just are not ready for. Another is that probably most of the victims are women, and so they don't care. Like every other type of abuse, you know, that primarily happens to women, they just don't care. But anyway, you know, so I'm going to have to leave. You know, I mean, I have a Section 8 voucher. If I get evicted, I will lose it. So just to preserve the voucher, and to avoid another eviction, I'm probably just going to have to move out. I don't know what else I can do. You know, and hopefully I'll be able to, there'll be some sort of social service agency that will help me with the moving costs, because I don't even have the money to pay the movers. You know, there is just nothing I can do. So I'm trying to clean my apartment. I'm trying to get rid of some stuff to make the move, you know, a little bit easier. And so this is one of the things that I found when I was cleaning. I mean, this is one of the notebooks many notebooks that I filled up when I was homeless. First of all, homeless. And then also trying to study for like tests to get accepted to biotechnology programs. This is from 2015. One of the many notebooks that I filled up with notes. You know, just studying. Basically, most of it studying off the internet. You know, there's lots of free websites on the internet that will tell you how to do math problems, that will talk about chemistry and talk about biology, and you know, and give you stuff to do. And this is one of the many notebooks that I filled up. Yeah, and I was homeless. I was homeless when I did this one. You know, I mean, it's just like, I was homeless for 2 years. I was homeless for 2 years, from 2011 to 2013, and then I had an apartment, you know, and I was evicted. But these are notes from one of the biotechnology program that I applied for 2 years in a row and was rejected from 2 years in a row. And these are notes that I took when I was talking to them. That's what it's called, just to start. Yeah, they look for money because they have to have funding from other people. You know, so me being who I am, I mean, they probably thought someone was just going to cut their funding, you know, just because I'm so disliked, you know, by so many powerful people. So they just decided, you know, 2 years in a row they didn't accept me. I literally got a perfect score on their qualifying test. The first year I took it, I can understand them kind of rejecting me the first. I can understand them. I can sort of understand them kind of rejecting me the first year, because I was a little bit late to apply. But basically, I called them, and I think it was the next day that they gave me an interview. Not an interview. They gave me like a preliminary application process where I showed up to take the qualifying test, and I only got one wrong on each section of the test. right? And it was just like, you know, and then, but then I did the whole application and had the interview and everything, and they were just like, okay, but it's just too late, we ran out of funding. But the following year, I was on time for everything, got a perfect score on the test, and they still rejected me. It was just, I mean, there's just nothing, there's nothing I can ever really do. You know, I mean, I suppose it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know, because I think I'm probably getting a better education, actually at Bunker Hill, you know, which is, I have no control over the name of that school. You know, it has nothing to do with anything, except, you know, an historic event from a long time ago. It's just, you know, I mean, it's just, I would never have chosen to have the things happen to me that have happened. And I don't know why there are so many people who continue to try to say that it doesn't really matter, or it's something that I wanted, or it's, you know, or any of those things. It's something I deserve, right? If they can't quite believe that it's something that I, you know, that I wanted, they at least try to say it's something I deserve. I just can't believe how many people know that I'm telling the truth, you know, and have had since December 22nd, which is when I got the first letter from the property manager's lawyer, you know, telling me to stop talking about the cameras. I just can't believe so many people have just not cared. It really seems like not even one person has contacted anybody to tell them I'm telling the truth. And here I'm going to be evicted again. It's just gonna end this. I mean, it's just, and I'm thinking about this. I noticed this again because I mean, because what the conglomerate says about me is that I'm just like stupid and I'm lazy, and all I do is sit around and try to manipulate people into falling in love with me, right? And I have worked so hard. I have worked so freaking hard on so many things, and it's so hard to be homeless, you know. And here I am, victimized again for an entire year in yet another apartment, and lied about again. You know, I don't think the property manager knows that there are actually cameras in the apartment. You know, I think it's someone who worked for her, who put the cameras in the apartment and is lying about it because he doesn't want to get arrested, he doesn't want to go to jail, him and whoever else is part of it, you know. And it's like, all right, well, you know, I mean, I just feel like, how can you do this to somebody? You know, why would you do this to somebody in the first place? Because a bunch of people told you that it was all right? It's not all right. You know what? It's not all right. It's not all right to treat somebody like this. And here I am, I'm going to be evicted. I'm going to be evicted again. And the last people who did this to me got paid millions and millions and millions of dollars by the government. You know, and I never stop being treated like everything that happens to me is my fault, no matter how horrible anybody is to me.